You've seen the pattern before. A software engineer earning $200,000 a year who lives paycheck to paycheck, right next to a teacher on a modest salary who retires a millionaire. The difference isn't a better grasp of calculus, but a silent biological loop running in the background. Modern retail and digital environments are actively engineered to trigger these ancient biological loops, creating a persistent pressure to spend. Mastering your finances requires you to understand and rewrite this psychological architecture. A monthly budget is just a temporary fix for an underlying system error. A stagnant bank account is often the logical result of an ancient brain attempting to navigate a modern environment. Think about the last time you received $100 as a gift. It likely felt easy to spend. Now compare that to $100 earned from a grueling day of labor. Even though the value is identical, the earned money feels much harder to let go of. This feeling is driven by mental accounting, the human tendency to assign different values to money based on where it came from. This is Richard Thaler, the behavioral economist who documented how this specific cognitive bias leads us into irrational financial choices. Our brains automatically sort identical dollar amounts into separate, rigid categories. We might treat a tax refund as a license to splurge, while treating an identical sum of rent money as untouchable. Until we recognize that every dollar is identical and interchangeable, these invisible mental pockets will continue to undermine our long-term security. Handing over physical cash triggers a specific discomfort response in the brain, a phenomenon researchers call the pain of paying. Watching your wallet get thinner creates a biological brake on your spending. Modern checkout environments, from Apple Pay to mobile wallets, are designed to bypass these pain receptors entirely. This frictionless design eliminates the critical hesitation period where your rational brain would normally override a sudden impulse. This lack of friction fuels the latte factor, the compounding impact of hundreds of tiny micro-purchases that slip past our awareness every month. Chronic overspending is the predictable result of navigating an environment stripped of all its natural financial friction. Many people believe dopamine is the brain's pleasure chemical. In reality, it is the wanting chemical. It drives pursuit, not satisfaction. The neurochemical high peaks while you are browsing and adding items to a cart, but it crashes the moment the transaction is actually completed. Social media platforms and retailers use variable, unpredictable rewards to keep us trapped in this cycle of endless anticipation. Stress, boredom, and social comparison act as triggers, initiating a neurological hunt for a reward that the actual product can never satisfy. When you are caught in this loop, you aren't actually buying products. You are paying for the fleeting feeling of wanting them. Our biology is hardwired for present bias, the tendency to prioritize today's immediate comfort over an abstract future. This bias makes retirement planning incredibly difficult, when enrollment requires a conscious, active effort to opt in. This chart shows the percentage of federal employees who remain at their default contribution rate. When the system was changed to automatically enroll new hires, most employees simply stayed exactly where the system put them. These employees didn't become more financially literate overnight. The choice architecture of the plan simply aligned with their biological inertia. Wealth accumulation becomes a function of system design rather than a daily test of character. To interrupt the dopamine loop, move impulse items from your cart to a wish list and enforce a 24-hour waiting period. This forces a gap between the chemical spike of wanting and the financial reality of the cost. You can then use the 1/3 financial rule as an automated default to protect your income from present bias. By setting up your accounts to automatically split every paycheck into 3 equal pipelines: living expenses, debt repayment, and savings, you ensure your long-term goals are funded before you ever have the chance to spend the money. This system recognizes that we are emotional creatures. As financial author Morgan Housel argues, building a system that accommodates your human nature leads to better long-term results. Punishingly strict budgets rely on willpower, a resource that eventually runs out. A reasonable system accommodates your humanity. This is what systemic wealth building looks like: quiet, automated, and free from the constant stress of decision-making. Automating these habits creates a path toward financial security that operates in the background, eventually providing the autonomy to control your own time.